friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're gonna do a comparison of two smartphones in the budget segment, the Honor 8C with the Redmi 7. So these two smartphones are priced below the 10,000 price segment in India, and they offer a lot of aspects similar because we have the same screen size, we have the Snapdragon 632 octa-core processor on these two devices. Now both the devices are priced 899 and the Honor 8C comes with 4GB RAM and 32GB storage, one of the few smartphones offering 4GB RAM at this price segment, while the Redmi 7 comes with 3GB RAM and 32GB storage. We have 4000 mAh large capacity battery on both the phones, so which is a better device to buy? So let's find out in all the aspects which is a better device to buy in this price segment. So let's get started. First step, let's have a look at the design and build quality. Now design wise, you can see that both these devices are quite similar in terms of design aspect. The bezels are quite similar on both the phones. You can see that when you look at the back panel, that's where the major difference comes in. We have matte finishing on the Honor 8C with a gradient finish, and the camera unit placement also looks slightly different. We have a dual camera setup. Both the cameras are individually placed instead of a grouping. That gives it an additional look to the Honor 8C. On the other hand, the Redmi 7 has a dual camera setup. We have a single unit and the fingerprint scanner located. Now another difference is that this is matte finishing. We have curved edges on both the phones. We have matte finish on the Honor 8C, while it's a glossy finish on the Redmi 7. So you can see that the matte finish on the Honor 8C looks a bit more premium than the Redmi 7 with the glossy finishing. Now another thing about these two devices is that the Honor 8C is slightly lesser in weight and also slightly slimmer than the Redmi 7. So that definitely gives an advantage to the Honor 8C in terms of the usability. It's lighter and also slimmer than the Redmi 7. So in terms of design and build quality aspect, we would say the Honor 8C is probably having the upper hand. Now talking about the display quality. Now both the phones have a 6.26 inches HD plus resolution display, and display quality is pretty good on both the phones. You can see that both have IPS LCD panels, and the viewing angles and touch response feels quite similar. The outdoor visibility seems to be slightly better on the Honor 8C, not by a huge margin, but then still outdoor visibility seems slightly better on the Honor 8C. Now moving on to the software. Now talking about the software, both these devices have two custom UIs. We have the EMUI on the Honor 8C, while we have the MIUI 10 on the Redmi 7. Now talking about the UI features, so one thing to note here is that both these devices are custom UIs offering a plethora of modes and options to choose. Now the EMUI offers a lot of additional options including one-handed mode, motion control, then we have support for themes. Whole lot of customization options are included. Similar is the case with the Redmi 7 with MIUI 10. It offers dual app support and a few other apps as well. Now the biggest thing about the EMUI is that it does not have any ads, but Xiaomi's MIUI offers ads when you are using the device. So that's something which is not really acceptable by a lot of people. So EMUI definitely has an advantage here without the ads when compared to the MIUI. Also EMUI is a really good optimized UI when it comes to battery management as well. Even the MIUI does that, but we feel EMUI slightly has an edge here in terms of the features being offered. Now talking about the performance of these two devices, so both have the Snapdragon 632 octa-core processor. Now in terms of the performance, both the devices did a pretty good job here. The Honor 8C definitely has an advantage because of the additional RAM it offers, 4GB RAM versus 3GB RAM on the Redmi 7. So that definitely helps in memory management, and that's the reason the Honor 8C definitely has an advantage here. Both the devices offered lag-free experience, and also the additional RAM in Honor 8C does give an advantage for the 8C in terms of the day-to-day performance. Now the gaming experience was a tad superior on the Honor 8C when compared to the Redmi 7, but not by a huge margin though, but still we could see a slight difference here when playing games like PUBG. Now talking about the other aspects, both the devices have fingerprint scanners mounted on the back panel, does a pretty good job. There is face unlock also available on both these devices. Now moving on to the most important aspect, the cameras. So we have a primary 13 megapixel camera on the Honor 8C with f-stop 1.8 aperture and a secondary 2 megapixel depth sensing camera, and we have an 8 megapixel selfie camera as well. Now on the other hand, the Redmi 7 has a 12 megapixel primary camera with f-stop 2.0 aperture, a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera, and an 8 megapixel selfie camera included. Now let's have a look at some of the camera samples taken with these two devices. Here you can see that the Redmi 7 does a pretty good job with the overall colors and details being offered, but at the same time the EMUI powered Honor 8C has slightly sharper images and overall details look slightly better on the Honor 8C. So in terms of the daylight performance camera, we would say Honor 8C definitely has an upper hand. Now Honor 8C also has f-stop 1.8 aperture, so that aperture allows better low light experience when compared to the f2.2 on the Redmi 7. So in terms of the camera performance, both in terms of rear camera as well as the selfie camera, which is an 8 megapixel shooter on both the phones, we would say the Honor 8C definitely has an advantage over the Redmi 7 in terms of the camera performance. So in terms of the camera performance, Honor 8C definitely has the upper hand. Now talking about the battery, so both these devices have same capacity battery, that's 4000 mAh capacity battery, and both does a really good job in terms of the battery performance. You can get more than a day, almost like 1.5 days of battery life on both the phones. Now the EMUI has slightly better optimization, resulting in slightly improved screen on time when compared to the Redmi 7. The Redmi 7 is a stellar performer, but here the Honor 8C gave us a slightly higher screen on time. So in that aspect, the battery performance is a tad better on the Honor 8C. So that was a detailed comparison of these two devices. Both the devices are priced 899 in India and comes with 3GB RAM and 32GB storage. Now which is a better device to buy here? Redmi 7 is a pretty good package with good design and build quality. Now the software experience is also good, but then there is ads included. Now the gaming is good, the battery life is also pretty good. So when it comes to Honor 8C has an advantage in terms of the design and build quality because slightly slimmer build and also lighter in weight, and matte finish gives an advantage to the Honor 8C. Apart from that, EMUI is a bit more feature rich and does not feature any ads. Apart from that, the camera performance was also better on the Honor 8C. And finally, the battery life was almost similar, but then again Honor 8C has an advantage. So looking at all these aspects, the Honor 8C definitely has an advantage over the Redmi 7 in this price segment. So that was a detailed comparison of the Honor 8C with the Redmi 7. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. This is Norma signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.